look here at what could very well be the next big catastrophe here in America. It's already underway and in motion. What they are dubbing the mega drought. Some people ignoring this, thinking it's not going to affect them, but it will, one way or another, in terms of food, travel, or prices in any other sector. Water, above all, here is going to be the hot commodity going into the summer here, and really, with certain areas drying up so quickly and not even reaching summer yet, this could be really bad. Now, it's one thing to have a plan, but if you're in a state where all the water's drying up, the aquifers are drying up, that's not good. It's just not good at all. There's a reason why Bill Gates, the owner of more private farmland than anyone else in America, has purchased all of his land above massive aquifers or areas of fresh water in the United States. He doesn't have large swaths in Arizona, New Mexico, things like that. It would be for a reason. He has them down around the Mississippi River, in the Midwest, things like that, and above large aquifers that have not been tainted by fracking or anything else. So this looks to continue this drought, and this is going to cause an effect on food supply and everything else connected in between. And you can see here just how bad it is, and I've reported before that this is spreading all the way up into the Dakotas, where they're saying that there's going to be a major hit on this year's wheat. So that's just one sector already they're saying is going to see a massive rise. There's also talk about gas shortages coming up big time. People at the gas station and other places talking about this. As all these things start to rise heading into summer, it's not going to make for a good combination.
A lot of American followers message me and ask me what the hell is going on. I do live in Ontario, so I am living in the strictest lockdowns in the world. The only time we can leave our house is if we're going to get groceries or if you're an essential worker. Obviously, me being a photographer, I'm not an essential worker. So if you're a small business owner, you basically either been bankrupt or they're giving you minimal to live on. And when I say minimal, they give us $900 every 3 weeks. Now, in Canada, that doesn't go far. Rent here, cheap for a crappy ass apartment, is like $1,200 a month. So we are barely hanging on. So yeah, like when we go to Walmart, we can't buy anything for our kids. We can't, buy books or toys or anything like that. So that's what it's like to live in Canada right now. And apparently there's a ton of Chinese troops now here. So we don't know what the hell's going on, but we are terrified and we are not okay. I've had a lot of American...
A couple weeks back, we discussed the Pentagon's leaked footage that showed what appeared to be glowing objects flying near this Navy destroyer. Now, the video was leaked to filmmaker Jeremy Corbell. He made the documentary Bob Lazar, Area 51, Flying Saucer, and I'm very privileged to be joined by Jeremy now to discuss this video and more. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's talk about this video, which you exclusively obtained and you put it out there. Start to finish, obviously we're not going to talk sources or anything. What does the video show? And then what did the Pentagon say about the video?
Right. So the Pentagon confirmed that I was able to obtain and release unclassified images and footage with my mentor in journalism, George Knapp. So George Knapp released 3 images out the cockpit of an FA-18 fighter plane of unidentifieds. So these are unknowns, UAPs, UFOs. These are unknown until known. So that's what we released, is images and video of pyramid-shaped UFOs, or UAPs, as well as an additional set of images of a USO, an object that is transmedium and breaking the barrier between air and sea. And that was off of the USS Omaha. Sure. So, first of all, my history with the topic is, again, George Knapp has been a mentor to me. He's been on the forefronts of bringing this information about these UAPs forward, for over 30 years. I was able to obtain information and get in on investigating the Nimitz encounters with Commander David Fravor prior to it ever going public. I mean, for like 4 or 5 years prior to that. So we were able to break that story before even the New York Times. So people have started to understand that, this is serious. that I'm, somebody that is trustworthy as far as looking at this information, and that if I release something, I've had it for a while. Now, there is an argument. People are saying, oh, these are Russian or Chinese or an adversarial nation.
Yes.
Now, let's just address that. If that were to be true, that is a bigger problem than something completely unknown or out of this world. So I'd like to keep every possibility on the table until we exclude them. But one thing is for certain. UFOs, UAPs, they represent an advancement in technology that no nation on Earth has ever displayed in the theater of war. And now we are seeing incursions by UAPs in our restricted airspace over sensitive facilities. They can actively jam our radar and weapon systems, and they hover at times and manipulate our nuclear weapons. I think it's dangerously myopic to try to identify unidentifieds just based on one video or two videos. We have electro-optics and sensor data that is just so robust, and more of that is coming out. So I think our government's response, remember, this is a representative government. I mean, we have people representing us, and we have been lied to, for decades, and this is provable. We were told in 1969 the end of Project Blue Book was the end of the U.S. government's interest in UFOs. We later found out from George Knapp about OSAP and ATIP and all of these programs to study UFOs. I will tell you, behind the scenes, the scientific community and our military and defense department, this is the number one topic, because these vehicles, as you see in the images I released of the USS Omaha incursion, how is this not important? It doesn't matter where UFOs, UAPs come from. That's an epistemological issue that people can deal with. I'm looking at this as a scientific issue and one from national security standpoint, and a conversation that we need to have either way without ridicule. And that's happening now. That's happening.
It absolutely is happening. It wouldn't have come to, I think, millions of people's attention without this. And as you say, that's something I definitely wanted to talk about with you, which is that in response to your video, there have been a lot of discussion about Chinese and Russian drones, etc., how that could be the possible explanation. As you say, if that's true, I mean, okay, let's find out more, because that sounds scary as hell to me. If they can jam radar systems, move beyond anything known to human technology and, mess with nuclear weapons. What is your assessment generally of how the government is handling this? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, there seems to be a new level of disclosure, which is making some people in the community uncomfortable, saying, why is this all coming out now? As somebody who's been trying to get this out for a long time, what's your response?
Some things that you might see and maybe even believe, and just better to keep to yourself. So Key Marcus Spears, our good friend, as we were just talking to Kevin Nagandi, he was talking to Kevin about this on SportsCenter, and Marcus Spears had a very interesting take about Baker and the UFO that he saw.
Rich people problems, okay? In the hood, you don't see UFOs. You're too worried about trying to make sure you pay your rent and get food put on the table and keep the lights on. There's no time to see UFOs. Baker Mayfield is describing rich people. Seeing UFOs and Sasquatch, I didn't think about that one damn time growing up. I ain't thought about it as an adult because I've been hustling, trying to make sure that I'm in a good situation for my family. When you rich, you have time to look for these things, think about these things, and also when you're rich, you live in neighborhoods where you can see all of the solar system. That is the problem that Baker Mayfield has. It ain't no damn UFO. It was all of the stars shining because you got all of that money and all of that space, and you can see the solar system in its true form. Just like when people go to Alaska and they see the northern lights, they think something is happening. People in Alaska don't give a damn about the northern lights. They see them every day. But when you come from broke and you go to rich, you see things a little differently. I hate that I had to go on a rant about this. I really didn't like the question because it's rich people problems. Now, I will tell y'all this, because of what I've had the ability to do in playing in the league and working for ESPN, I'm gonna sit in my damn backyard tonight and hopefully see a UFO because I got enough space to see the stars.
Key, have you ever seen a UFO?
No, I've never seen a UFO, and I don't think I'll ever see it.
Even if you saw something Would it like?
I'm
Would you
not
stare
seeing
at it?
but
Would you
I'm not
wonder what it
seeing-
is?
But I'm not seeing a UFO, man. It's not happening. That's unrealistic. But I'm not getting
Baker
caught
said
up
it's
in that.
very real.
Well,
It's
I mean,
very real what he saw.
Sometimes people might have consumed some things that will make them see things that they shouldn't see.
I see.
Yeah, you know,
Right, yeah, I
sometimes
get
in
it.
people's lives they may have had too much wine or, you know, other things in life.
Yep,
they
yep.
sit outside in their backyard, they look at the sky, and they think they saw something that they didn't see. And for it,
What do you think of what Spears said about this being a rich people problem?
I don't think it's a rich people problem. I think it's just somebody saying something that, you know, again.
There are people that believe though in this supernatural.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that believe in a lot of weird stuff. Think about it. Just think about it for a minute.
But even the Navy, even the government has said yes.
They
yes,
saw
there was something in the sky that night.
That night, it was a light. We don't know exactly what it was.
So you firmly believe that we are the only living creatures in the universe?
I
No
don't
other
know.
world.
All I know is where I'm at, right? Here on this planet.
Well, that is so
I don't
you.
know
That is so you.
anything about anywhere or anything about any other place other than where we're at.
Not even curious.
No. Why would I want to see a dude with a third eye?
Well, how do you know he's got a third eye?
Because that's usually aliens and all that weird stuff. They have third eyes and.
How do you know if you've never seen one?
That's what I mean. I could be one.
I've never seen one.
I could
no,
be
you
one.
could be one. But based on what you look like, your flesh, how you walk, how you talk, I'm okay with that. You look human to me. You look human.
So that's the thing. So we could take any form we want. We take human form. You're cool with it. Doesn't matter if you're an alien. Doesn't matter what planet you're
I
from.
might be an alien. I don't know. But you don't have a third eyeball. I'm okay.
Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. That belongs to elders and citations to election, the real house of David. And this is probably like the second, third time me trying to put this video together. Been having complications all day, technical difficulties, you know, with the recorder, with the apps and all this. And, you know, Lord willing, this all gets put up, but you know, the Lord, he's really putting the squeeze on, and he's really, you know, basically separating and taking away his men away from this world and away from a lot of you guys that are fake in this truth. And, you know, seeing that the days like never before are coming upon the earth, such troublesome, such evil days are coming. The Lord said he's going to keep the elect sane. He's going to keep them fed and famine. He's going to keep them alive. He's going to save them from the sword. And you've seen that lady in Ontario, right? And you can tell when someone's lying and making something up. And she's not lying and making it up. You know, they do have some of the strictest laws out there in Canada. You know, where over the prophecies come to pass, where if a man shall desire to go into a city, he shall not be able to. So the prophecies are already coming to pass under a lot of you guys' nose, you know, and you don't even realize it. We're in a famine of the word. You don't even realize it, that a lot of men have basically revealed who they are, you know. And, you know, we don't need to say names. We don't need to say names because time is short. And we redeem our time to the Lord and to those that are actually listening. That's who matter. That's who the Lord is calling out. And that's who the Lord said. He said, if you're not ashamed of the gospel and you confess the Lord's name, then he will confess your name to the Lord and the angels, you know. But out there in Ontario, you know, it's getting bad. They say they have Chinese soldiers out there, you know. And America is about to be spoiled. America is about to get hit hard, man. Because the pride, the arrogancy, the carelessness, the whoredom, and not just sexually whoredom, but faithlessness, no loyalty, no fear of the Lord. And the Lord says, start in his sanctuary first. And you got. I'm gonna say this too. You know, a lot of guys in this truth, even they'll be like, "Oh, I seen a chariot," or they'll see a chariot here, a chariot there. But see, even these people in the world, like these celebrities and athletes and the Navy fighters, they see chariots too. But is that for the salvation? No, man. That's the curse that go over the face of the earth. And a lot of you guys, you pervert the gospel and you're accursed. You are accursed. So those chariots ain't going to be for your salvation. They're going to be for your annihilation. And when you, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Let's go Wisdom of Solomon 5. All right, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1, it says, Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors, right? Our labor of love. See, just as Yahushua, he made himself with no reputation, we also don't make ourselves with no reputation. And just as our people hid as it was their faces from Yahushua, right? They hid from the Lord, act like they didn't know him or realize him or hear him. Same thing guys do to us. And they make no account of our labor of love, you know, because when we show love, they reward us with hate, you see? And they reject the word of the Lord unto condemnation unto themselves. So we're standing with great boldness before Esau, before the wicked of our nation, that we've been laboring, because the Lord said he sent out his servants, rising up betimes, saying, listen and take heed of the trumpet. But our people say, we ain't gonna listen. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 2. When they see it, see, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and the sinners of Zion, you're afraid. Fear from this has surprised the hypocrites, because you thought the Lord, you thought, let me go to Psalms, because you guys thought that the Lord was fake, just like you and Two-Face. He would say things and wouldn't really do it, and he would say things he didn't really mean it. But see, the Lord ain't like you, man. See, this is Psalms 50 and 21. I'm sorry, verse 20 says, Psalms 50 and Psalms 50 and 17 says, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. And then you put your word, you put your camp before the Lord. And see, the Lord's going to destroy a lot of you guys that are cursed to the Lord, doing the work of the Lord deceitfully. These chariots are not for your salvation, they are for your destruction. See, Lord, he's saving the best for last. And all you guys, you're anathema maranatha, cursed until the Lord comes, a thing set up to be destroyed. Brute beast made to be destroyed. Psalms 15:18. When thou sawest a thief, then thou contendest with him. Then thou, let me read that again. Psalm 15:18. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him. So basically, you was with it. You was with the many, the multitudes, making the Lord's house and temple a den of thieves and robbers, and making it of merchandise, making money off of it, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. See, but we're in the time now, Lord. He's not holding silence no more. He's not holding back anymore, and he's letting it all out right now, man. He's not hiding things. He's not, I don't want to say that. I don't want to make anyone feel bad. No, he's bringing everything out, man. And a lot of guys, they're hurt. A lot of guys are revealing themselves to be found liars, and they are the father devil. They're just like Esau. They're just like the heathens. It says, and I kept silence, though thou thoughtest that I was altogether such and one as thyself. But I'll reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. Right? So we're not confused. Because a lot of you guys, you love seeing our people confused. You love everyone being confused and not knowing who's the righteous, who's the wicked. You just want everyone to just, it's just my camp's all righteous. See, Lord, he's sending his elect in order before your eyes, man. You see? This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, which is outside of, profane means outside of the temple, outside of the Lord's righteousness, outside of godliness. Says they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things. in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls are just complain continually. Right, so we're complaining continually, and especially of guys that hold this truth in unrighteousness. We can't bear them that call themselves apostles but are not. But when we found them out to be liars. And now the Lord is bringing it, man, swiftly. Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Because what are they looking for? They're looking for the wicked and the reprobate, the lukewarm, the false apostles, the false prophets to be beamed up, to be delivered. Those that have the high seats, that are highly exalted, that have all the subscribers and likes. See, and if you see, this is why the Lord said, don't set up any standing image. See, a lot of guys, you're setting up idols, man, and you're giving into idolatry, and you don't even realize it. And it's heavy because the Lord has made your ear dull of hearing, and now by us bringing out this wisdom, knowledge, understand this last part of the spirit of the prophecies, you're not gonna accept it. You're not gonna want to hear it. Like we just read in Psalms, you're to cast the Lord's word behind you. You see? And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves. So they're saying this in their thoughts. And when they go to bed at night, they're having nightmares. This was he whom we had sometime in derision and a proverb of reproach. And it's heavy because the LD did a video going into how, the prophets are basically like the prophets, the men of the Lord, were basically treated as dead things on the road, and it's heavy because one of my coworkers, he actually told me that one of his neighbor's cats died on the street, basically got ran over, so everything's spiritual, man. It says, we fools account his life madness and his end to be without honor. You see, but that's the thing. A lot of you guys that are in high honors and exalted and are proud, your end is destruction. But see, us being humiliated, being humbled, being chastised, being humiliated, we're received unto great honor for the Lord. It says, how is he numbered among the children of God and his lot among the saints? You see that? And this is a heavy prophecy that's coming to pass, because these UFOs, see, a lot of people, they don't know the Lord. They don't know what the scriptures mean. And then it's heavy even amongst the truth. You have guys that know what the scriptures mean, but then they don't know Yahushai. They know chariots, they know UFO chariots, they know RFID chip in the mark of the beast, so on and so forth. They know they're Israelite, but then they don't know Yahushai. For if they had known Yahushai, they wouldn't have killed the Prince of Peace, the Prince of Life. And a lot of you guys are highly exalted and praised, you false apostles, you false prophets out there, and having guys call you master. See, you got a lot of guys starstruck. And that word starstruck is fascinated or greatly impressed by famous people. Hint, hint, number 16. Especially those connected with the entertainment industry. So you guys been using this truth for entertainment, not for doing the business of the Lord sincerely and truthfully, man. You see, because you are not of the Father of heaven. Your father is of earth, the Satan, Caesar, money, clout. Sirach 3:19. Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of the Lord is great. Yeah, the power of the Lord is great. And he is honored of the lowly. So Yahushua is honored of the lowly. Those that are in low seats, that are insignificant, that have no reputation, that are ridiculed, that are hated, that are humiliated. Seek not things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is commanded thee, and what's above our strength? Basically pinpoint and point the finger of everyone that's a false prophet and a real prophet. The Lord said, let them both go together, and then he's going to call for the angels, and then they're going to separate. You see? And we're able to do that by what? Knowing the characteristics of a wolf, of a false brother, and actually knowing the characteristic of what? Of a sheep, of a true shepherd. You see how what spirit they would be coming in. They would be going through similar things that Yahushua went through, or similar things that the Pharisees and scribes and chief elders and priests went through. You see, it's simple, and we ain't gotta say names, man. You see. It says, but what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. It says, be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. So men understand men hate and are afraid of things that they don't understand or they don't comprehend. You see? So that's what's happened. A lot of evil men don't understand judgment, and they don't understand us because they didn't understand Yahushua. They couldn't grasp what he was saying. Just like they can't grasp what we're saying in these last days. You know? The way we're coming is, see, we're not just here to build up our people and here help our people and love we're also here to put our mouths against the trees that are withered and are cursed and wicked and cut them down, man. We're an axe, we're a battle axe. A lot of guys, you forgot we're at war right now, man. Sirach 3:24, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, right? What they think, what they want. And an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. That's why by them having no judgment, they have no faith, they have no mercy. Those things start to wither away as well. 2 Corinthians 4:4, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahushua, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So the image of the Most High, right? Because Yahushua said, if you seen me, you seen the Father. So the Father, the creator of heaven and earth, is being revealed right now through his men that Yahushua is shining upon, and he has given that light to. But see, just like the world is blind, a lot of you guys in this truth is blind. You can't see. And how you going to tell someone that is blind and the Lord doesn't want to see? You see? There's no help for you. I can't, you know what I'm saying? The Lord doesn't want to heal everybody. He says, for we preach not ourselves, but Yahushua Mashiach, the Lord, and ourselves your servants, for Yahushua's sake. You see? So it's whom the Lord commendeth and whom the Lord wants, not who we want. And with the Lord, there's no respect of persons. And with going into, because guys, like, you know, this whole legions asking us, oh, why don't you say names? Well, here's your answer right here. This is Colossians 4:5. Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, right? You guys are without the temple. We're walking with wisdom. The Lord said, be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. You see? And our weapons of war aren't carnal. You know? All we have to do is what? Explain and describe, right, who is who. And then those that are spiritual are going to be able to what? Discern. Are going to be able to, okay, I got the breakdown of that. I know if they fit this criteria, then that makes them what? False. If they fit this criteria, it makes them real. But see, that's only given to those that have spiritual eyes, have their third eye open. You know? Like you have them football players, them athletes talking about the UFOs. See, they don't understand nothing, man. They're all just mocking it. They're going to be destroyed too. They ain't going to repent. They're proud. They got their constellation already. They don't want this world to end. You see? And a lot of guys in the truth are just like that, man. But in a more deceitful, cunning way. You transform yourself into an angel of light. Acting like you were serving Yahushua, but you're not. You're serving your own self. It says, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. So we're getting the time back. And our time is valuable. Our time is valuable. We don't waste time. You see? We get right to the point. And we're not going to waste our time on you reprobates, man. The Lord said, cast not your pearls to swine. So, you want to unsubscribe? Good, the better. Less is better. Less is really more. You see? Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how you ought to answer every man. And see, a lot of guys, they're not going to like our answers because they ain't got salt. They ain't being preserved. They're not being kept. They're actually what? They're spoiling. You know, they're declining away, man. Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils? Check this out. And in thy name done many wonderful works. And this is really heavy because What these reprobates think in their mind is that by them casting out devils is that they've cast out true men of the Lord out the temple. Like it says in John 16, verse 1 and 2. You see? But they're just like Saul did, he prophesied in an evil spirit. Same thing with you guys. You prophesy in an evil spirit, man. And you cast out men that are righteous. You like on the brother of the video, you know, roadkill, you know, just roadkill, you know. And that goes into many multiple parables, man. There was a man left half dead, and then you had a Pharisee, you had a Levite, you had a priest, just cross the other street and walk by, keep taking care of himself. He wasn't gonna help him. They didn't care about him. They were just gonna leave him dead to die. And that's how a lot of you guys teach this word. You just across the street, you forget your brother that's half dead, and all you care about is just goddamn self. You see? But who did the will of the Lord? The Samaritan that actually helped him up and brought him back to life. And that's what we're doing. Let's see. Yep, Matthew 10 and 25. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master and the servant as his Lord, right? And see, you can't be a disciple of the Lord if you love your life. And a lot of guys, you love your life. You're going to try to save your life and you'll lose it in the process. It says, and the servant as his Lord, if they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more, right? Because we're our righteousness as filthy rags. How much more shall they call them of his household? You see? So let's keep reading here. Matthew 7:23. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity, right? So Yahushua never knew them. And same with us. We don't know a lot of you guys, man. We don't even know your names. You see? We just know that a lot of men are not right, and we're not going to waste our time making videos on reprobates. No, we're not going to waste our time doing videos on vocab. You see, we're to redeem our time back to Lord and teaching the chosen, the elect, the bride, right, of how to conduct herself, man, how to stay a chaste virgin unto Yahushua, keeping their eyes single, not worrying about those that perish. Real quick, let's go to 2nd Esdras 9 and 13. And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. You see? And when you let's go to Timothy. All right, Timothy. 1 Timothy 6 and verse 3. It says, if any man teach otherwise, and consent not to wholesome words, right? The complete words of the Lord, everything that he was saying and teaching, even the words of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness, he is proud, knowing nothing. And this is why the Lord said in 1 Corinthians 13, if you know prophecies, if you know mysteries, if you know this, you know that, if you have all knowledge, and you have not charity, that makes you are nothing. You are nothing. A lot of guys, you're nothing, man. You're empty inside. You're coming before the Lord empty. And thou shalt not come before the Lord empty. That's why you're not before the Lord. You're before Satan, man. He is proud, knowing nothing. You don't know anything, man. And he that knoweth little and feareth the Lord is greater than he that transgresseth the commandments of the Lord, man. And a lot of guys, you're in the transgression. You're in the transgression, man. Which sin is a transgression of the law. Proverbs 16 and 10. A divine sentence is in the lips of the king, you see, and these divine sentences are coming out of the king's servants, because we're speaking with a mouth. The Lord's using us as his mouth, as his voice. His mouth transgresseth not in judgment, you see. Get another one as well. This is Proverbs. Yeah, here it is right here. Proverbs 23. No, it's like Proverbs 22. Yeah, Proverbs 22 and 12 says, the eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge. You see, so the eyes of the Lord run to and fro, right? The chariots of angels, right? And they're preserving those that have the knowledge of Yahushai, which is above the knowledge of history and prophecies and breakdowns, is having the knowledge of Yahushai and who he is and what he is doing, having him in you. It says, the eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, and he overthroweth the words of the transgressor. That's right. You see? All right, this is 1 Timothy 6 and 4. He is proud, knowing nothing but doting about questions and strifes of words, right? So that's why they doting about questions and strife. Oh, tell me whose name is you're talking about. Who's this? And that's who's the same sect of people that are doing that. If you say you're the anointed, if you're Yahushua, tell us plainly. See, that spirit you guys got on you, man. Says that word doting is extremely and uncritically fond of someone. Adoring, right? Doting. Lavish someone with gifts. Says be silly or feeble-minded, especially as a result of old age. You see? If that word dote goes into acting or talking foolishly. Be silly. A lot of guys are being silly. Just like them celebrities and athletes talking about the UFOs, man. You see, that's how you guys act when you talk about Yahushai. Says, doting about questions, strifes of words, whereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil, surmisings, right? So what did the Lord say about evil? Don't overcome evil with evil. Don't be like them. That's why the Lord said, don't answer a fool, lest thou be like unto him. But overcome evil with good, and that's what we're doing, man. We're staying good. We're just keep on teaching the good news, man, the gospel. To what? To this true news, right, the Yahushai, to those that are actually good. You see, the good fruit, the good sheep, the good fish that's being kept in the ship. You see, that word surmisings means evil surmisings. Matter of fact, let me just get that in the Greek. First Timothy 6 and 4. The word surmisings. All right. Let's see here. Let it play.
Strong's G 5283. Upanoia.
Whew. It says suspicion. We just read that earlier in Sirach. An evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. Right? It means to suppose. You know? It's like 1 Timothy 6 and 5. It says, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds, you see? And destitute of the truth. So they don't have Yahushai. Supposing that gain is godliness, from such withdraw thyself, right? And we've withdrawn ourselves. You see? And the wicked can't cope with themselves anymore, man. Sirach 37 and 1. Every friend saith, I am his friend also. And that's how a lot of guys act like, just because they're in their camp. You see? But there is a friend which is only a friend in name. And a lot of guys, you're just a friend in name. But once the fire comes, once the persecution and all the tribulation comes, and because of the word, by and by, you're offended. You see? And that's times what's written right now. You see? You're a lot of guys' true colors is being shown. It says 2 Ezra 8:51, but understand thou for thyself and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. So that's all we're doing. We're seeking out those that are like us, that walk in Yahushai and follow his example as we do. That's all. See, we're not prophets for the many. If you want the prophets for the many that say everyone's name and always point out this guy, that guy, then go to Korah. Go to Korah. That's the only reason they do the truth, is just to point fingers and do videos on this guy and that guy in vocab, you know. And this why you think that the Pharisees and scribes perceived that Yahushua spake of them, because he was. But he wasn't gonna come down to their level. They were beneath him. You see, they were a waste of time. He wasn't gonna waste no time on them, man. He was gonna say what he had to say and leave them, because he knew that his word had no place in them. You see, so why waste your time? Mark 14:7. For ye have the poor with you always, and whatsoever ye will, ye may do them good. But me ye have not always, right? So the spirit of Yahushai, in this parable here, but even now, because the men of the Lord is the spirit of Yahushai in these last days. They're basically filling in for his spot right now. You know, we're substituting for him for the moment until he comes back. But you don't have the true men of the Lord and the spirit of the Lord with you always. And a lot of guys, they take it for granted. Like we read earlier in Wisdom of Solomon, you know. They shall be troubled in anguish in the spirit, saying, this whom he had in division, how is he numbered amongst the saints? You see? Wisdom of Solomon 4:13. He being made perfect in a short time fulfilled a long time, right? So just like us, we're being made perfect through sufferings just as well, you know. And with our short time being alive, and even in this truth, we're fulfilling a long time. It says, for his soul pleased the Lord, therefore hasted he to take him away from among the wicked, right? So Lord, he's taking the righteous and the elect away from the wicked, away from compromised camps. You see, this the people saw and understood it not. So that they're seeing it, but they don't understand it. Though it be told you, ye will not believe. Check this out. This the people saw and understood it not. Neither laid they up this in their minds, right? Because their mind is been plagued. That his grace and mercy is with his saints, and that he hath respect unto his chosen. You see that? So the reason why the Lord respects his men is because why? They have no respect of persons in judgment. They respect the Lord's commandments, and they don't put the Lord's commandments beneath other men or beneath camps. You see? 1 Corinthians 13:8. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. See? Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. You see? So only those that are actually doing the true will of the Lord are going to abide forever. You see? And actually are fulfilling the law of the Lord, which is love your brother as yourself. It's all fulfilled. That's the royal law. So we see a lot of guys are not gonna remain. They're gonna pass away and perish just like this world is, man. It's hastening. It's happening quickly. Right? You got Chinese troops in Canada, man. You know, they're barely giving them enough money to pay their rent. I mean, it's getting bad, man. It's only gonna get worse. Gas is going up. You see, this is the beginning of sorrows, man. And this is the beginning of Jacob. This is the beginning of the world that followeth. But see, this world that was created for many is dying away. And all you people that are of the world, you're going to die with it. Let's see here. By the fact. 1 John 2:17. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. Check this out. 18. Little children, is the last time, and as ye have heard that anti-Yahushai shall come. See, a lot of guys are against Yahushai. They're against the spirit. Even now are there many anti-Yahushais, whereby we know that it is the last time. You see? They went out from us, right? They went out from the real true spirit of the Lord. But they were not of us. They weren't of the elect. The true men of the Lord, the chosen, the bride, the virgins, right? Having the eye single. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us, right? Continued preaching the gospel, defend the gospel against the wolves, against the accursed men out there, trying to pervert the gospel. But they were what? Sucked up with the curse and the plague. But they went out, see, they went out of the Lord's safety, of the Spirit. It says, that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. You see that? So it's not really about camps anymore. It's about what? The elect. The election that have obtained it. Meanwhile, the rest is blind. They don't even know what's going on. They can't even see. You see? And all you guys that fall in the blind, that don't have Yahushua, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall for it. You're gonna fall with them. You see? And that's the Lord is doing. It's marvelous in our eyes, but in the eyes of those that are blind, it's scary. What do you mean? What's going on? You see? All praise, glory, honor, fear, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Kakadash. A Baba Ball, destruction to all the anti-Yahushas, all that are against Yahushua and the spirit of his men that's on the men of the Lord powerfully in these last moments. And shalom, mercy to the Lord's bride and his elect.